Okay, so solving algebra equations that have fractions in them leads to a quadratic, and the quadratic then has to be solved in one of two ways, either using the guide number method or using the minus b formula. The first two questions will use the guide number method, and the second two questions will use the minus b. These are very, very common on junior cert exams, and they'll be common on any algebra tests really that you get from now until the time that you finish for your junior cert. First question I'm going to do is on page 33, and it's question 28. So you're going to multiply across by what's underneath the line for each one. So here it's 2x minus 3, x and 9, 2x minus 3, sorry, x and 9, do your cancelling. And then bring down what you've got. And I've spoken to you about this before. Quite often people like to reorder it. So I've got x by 9 by 4. I'm just going to reorder it. I'm going to say 4 by 9 by x. The minus drops straight down. The next term, the second term, I've got 2x by 9 by 2. I'm going to reorder it. I'm going to say 2 by 9, 2x minus 3, equals, I've got 1 by 2x minus 3 by x. I'm going to drop the 1 and I'm going to bring the x to the front. So you see, lads, as I'm moving on to the next line, I'm only doing one thing at a time. So 2 by 9 is 18, and that 18 will now have to be multiplied in on the next line. And here I'll do this now because it's ready for me to do it. 2x squared minus 3x. Watch that sign. I'd say if people are going to make a mistake, they'll make it there. Minus 18 by minus 3. It's 54. More importantly, minus by minus is the plus. The 36x and the 36x, they're subtracting, so they'll cancel for me. I'm going to bring everything over to the right hand side this time. I'm going to make it equal to 0, just purely because I prefer to deal with positive x squareds. So now it's a quadratic and it's ready for me to use the guide number method. 2 by minus 54 is minus 108, and that's really important. That minus needs to be in there, because it'll mean that what my factors have to, one of them has to be plus, one of them has to be minus. Having a look down through it, I mean, you can list them all off if you want, but I think it's fair to say that you can start eliminating some of them. So for example, 1 and 108, or minus 1 and plus 108, or vice versa, that's not going to work for you. I don't think 2 is going to work for you. I think I'd jump it up a little bit. You want the ones that are closest together. So let's have a look. Will 9 go into that? It will. 9 and 12. 9 and 12 will work. So it'll either be minus 9 and plus 12, or plus 9 and minus 12. You just add them up. So this one won't work, because if I add them I get minus 3. So this is my guide number. This is how I'm going to break up the middle term. So 2x squared plus 9x minus 12x minus 54. If you have a look here at the first two terms, all that's common is x. 2x plus 9. Have a look at the second two terms. I'm going to take out the minus, and it looks like looks like 6. And just before you go any further, you should just do a little check there. So if I were to say x by 2x, that would give me 2x squared. X by 9 gives me 9x, so I know I'm okay. That'll give me minus 12x, so I'm good, and that'll give me minus 54, so I'm good to move forward. So I'm going to take out now the 2x plus 9, as it's common. X minus 6 is left behind, equals to 0. Finish it off the way you've been shown. 2x plus 9 is equal to 0, or x minus 6 is equal to 0. X will equal to 6. And you're finished. And don't forget, lads, if you want to double check, if you're not too sure, take either of those, or both if you have the time, and sub them back into the very original part of the original question, the one that was presented to you in the book or in the exam or whatever, and that it should balance left hand side equal to right hand side. Okay, I'm going to move on. I'm going to do question 29. Very, very similar kind of a question. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do question 30, even though I didn't ask you to do it for homework. I think it's just it. It's as hard as they're going to get. So if you can do this, you can do anything. So the usual, I know I'm going to multiply each term that's underneath the line by everything that's, I'm going to multiply each term by everything that's underneath the line. So I'll have 2, x minus 1, x plus 2, 2, do some cancelling. And then take it down for the next line. Again, I've x minus 1 by x plus 2 in term number 1 there. I've x minus 1 by x plus 2 by 5. I'm going to rework that for myself. The 1 by 2 by x plus 2, I'm going to drop the 1. And then I've got 3 by 2. I'm going to leave that alone. I like that. And I'm ready to move forward. This first part here, I find people often make mistakes with that. And what I find is they think that that 5 that's on the outside has to be multiplied not only into the first bracket, the x minus 1, but also into the bracket after that, the x plus 2. That's not the case. The way to deal with something like this is to drop down the 5 and deal with the brackets here on their own. So you'll have x squared, 2x, minus x, minus 2. The rest of it is fairly straightforward. You notice I'm not rushing anything, I'm taking one thing at a time, no mistakes. Now that 5 that's on the outside, now it can be multiplied in. Watching your signs all of the time. Tidy it up a little bit if you want, or you can move everything all in one go, or you can tidy it up a little bit. I'm going to tidy it a bit. So 10x minus 5x just leaves 5x. The 2 and the 6 add to give 8, and minus 2. Okay, I'm just going to take it over onto the next page. The usual, I'm going to bring everything over and make it equal to 0. And now I'm ready to do the guide number method. So my guide number is 5 5/8 or 5 by minus 8, so that's minus 40. I'm looking for minus 3. So again, you can list them all off if you want, and you've seen on other videos how to do that. But at this stage, hopefully you're starting to get a little bit quicker at it. So let's see what might work. Well, I think 5 and 8 will work. And because it's a minus 40, either the 5 is minus or the 8 is minus. I'm looking for minus 3, so this one is wrong. So I'll have 5x squared plus 5x minus 8x minus 8. Take out 5x, so factorize out as much as you can. You'll be left with x plus 1. Take out the minus 8, x plus 1. Now take out the x plus 1. And you're finished. And the usual applies. If it was in a test, even sub one of them back in and make sure it's working. Particularly the awkward one. Don't sub in, you know, minus 1 and 1 and 0. They have a funny way of making things work. So if you were to test one of those answers, I would test the awkward one. Okay, moving on, lads. Page 35. You had 2 questions to do there as well. So question 25. It's going to be a very similar setup to what you've been doing, but it's how you're going to finish it. It's really, I suppose, the minus b that I'm interested in. I'll tell you what, I think I'll just do question 26. I don't think there's a need to do 2 of these. That's the thing about this, is your approach is going to be the exact same. So you've seen this twice already on this video, so we'll just get, it's only the finish of it. And I suppose another thing that you should be doing at your level is, as you scan across the question, before I put in the stuff in brackets there, as you scan across it, the thing that you're going to have to watch out for, or the place that people will make their mistakes, will be with the second term, because there's a minus there. So you should be aware, you should be starting to spot these things for yourselves. These will cancel for you. Cancel. Cancel. So set up the question. So 5, 9, x minus, be careful with it, 2, 9, again, this same thing, this minus by a minus. If you have a look at Junior Cert exam questions, they will almost always, without fail, every year test this kind of a question, and they'll also have a minus in there. And the vast majority of people who drop marks on it, one of the places they drop marks is that minus by a minus. So 0 is equal to 2x squared, you have a minus x there, minus 45x, plus 36x, minus 18. Minus 10. Now you could try the guide number method with this and it wouldn't work, but usually what will happen in the questions, you'll be given an indication that you need to use the minus b. it'll say one of a couple of things. It might say use the minus b formula. It'll quite often say give your answers correct to 2 decimal places, and that's an indication that the minus b formula will have to be used. Another way is give your answers in surd form. We'll get to that. So a is equal to 2, b is equal to minus 10, c is equal to minus 18. The formula is x equals minus b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That's really important. It's all over 2a. Even still, when I go around, I see some people and they just have the square root part over 2a. So x equals, so minus b, so minus 10 make sure that b goes inside a bracket, okay? So minus 10 all squared. Times 2. So x is going to equal to 10 plus or minus the square root. So you can just type that in on your calculator, make sure you get it right. Have an idea of what you think it's going to be. Don't just assume that the calculator has given you the correct answer. Just going to turn over one fresh page and we'll be done. So at this stage it's ready just to be broken up. So you go, one of your answers will be x is equal to 10 plus the square root of 244 all over 4, or x is equal to 10 minus the square root of 244 all over 4. Again, that can be done in the calculator all in one go, but just be a little bit careful about it. And the answer, you've been asked for your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So as a decimal then, you're getting x is equal to 6.405, so x is going to equal to 6.41. For the second part, you'll get x equals minus 1.405, so x will equal to minus 1.41. Correct 2 decimal places. And that's it.